Well, in 9/11 of '01, our country got hit by a terrorist attack on the Twin Towers. And it really pulled our country together, and I think it pulled our Rotary Club together too. There are a lot of patriotic people in our club, and I think everybody, regardless of what side of the aisle they might have cast their vote to, pulled together, and we were all Americans. We were all Rotarians. When I took over the club for the '02-'03 year, there was a feeling of love of country, love of Rotary, and I would say that the patriotic songs were maybe sung a little louder and with a little more meaning than they had been previously. George W. Bush was our president, and as '02, the year proceeded, it was kind of obvious that we were moving towards some kind of a inevitable conflict with Iraq. That eventually happened on, I believe it was March 19th of '03, which happened to be a Wednesday and coincided with what turned out to be one of my most troubling experiences in Rotary. My pet project during my year was the wheelchair project. Rotary International that year had a partnership with the Wheelchair Foundation, and for $75 a piece, we could fund a wheelchair to give to a handicapped person in an underdeveloped country and give them the gift of mobility. Some of these people were throwaways, people who would never be able to leave the dirt floor of the house they were born in. We partnered with the Rotary Club of Puerto Vallarta Sur, and our club members really got behind this. We raised enough money to buy and fund and ship 450 wheelchairs. And to culminate the project, about 45 members of the club and their family members went down to Puerto Vallarta, spent 4 days with the members of the Puerto Vallarta Sur Club, and actually assembled and delivered most of these wheelchairs to handicapped people that the club in Mexico had identified previous to our arrival. What I remember most about that day was the emotion and the love that was shared between Rotarians and these strangers from Mexico, these handicapped people, some who were carried to get their wheelchair, some who crawled in. It was such a sharing of love and emotion. My most lasting recollection is seeing my son Nick and my daughter Emily presenting their wheelchairs to two handicapped children that they had handpicked. My son helped a little girl sit in the chair that he had bought, and my daughter also presented a chair to a little girl. The emotion and the connection between these four children was absolutely outstanding. My second greatest memory is when I arranged for John McCain to present a commendation of meritorious military service to Stub Ashcraft. Stub was a great American, a great patriot, and a great past president of our club, and he was so proud of his military service. And I knew he had this commendation coming, and I was able to arrange with John McCain's office that John McCain would bring it with him and present it to Stub in front of the entire membership. I also was able to get Stub's grandson, who was a West Point graduate, to be in attendance at that meeting. And I can assure you there were very few dry eyes in the room when John McCain presented that commendation to our Stub Ashcraft. What was the best program we had during the year? Tough question. Mark Irvin, a very good friend of mine and a great Rotarian, was my program chairman. And he and his committee did an incredible job bringing in great talent for our programs that year. I remember we started my year with the president of NAU, followed by the clerk of the Superior Court, then the Attorney General, Janet Napolitano, soon to be the governor of our state, was on stage with me. And we had Lieutenant General Bob Johnston. We had Fitz from the Daily Star. We had the most incredible programs coming out of the chute, and it just kept happening week after week after week. We had Lute Olson, who at the time whose team was ranked #1. Remember those days?